Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the She Leads to Ivy League series podcast, where we bring you conversations with very inspiring young women from very prestigious leading universities who are creating impact through leadership and advocacy. I'm Vishaka Singhil from India, and I'm joined today by Jasmine. Um, Today, we are excited to be speaking with Afomia. She's a sophomore studying political science and human rights at the prestigious Columbia University in New York. Afomia, it's great to have you here with us today.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited.
To begin with the podcast, I have very personal questions from you. Beyond everything we see on LinkedIn, your achievements and everything, who is Afomia?
Yeah, so I would just describe myself, I guess as a crime fanatic the mostly. I really do love law. I love all things crime related, so it kind of bleeds into the shows I watch, the books I read, the movies I'm watching as well. I would also say I'm very adventurous. I love trying new things, love trying new food. I love doing all various things, and I love pushing myself. I'm a planner as well, so I'm just very like all over the place. I'm very type A at the same time as being like spontaneous. It's like a planned out spontaneous. So that's kind of who I am.
That's so great to see how you're trying out very different things at the same time from very different places. So yeah, that's great to know. Um, what do you think has shaped you while you were growing up?
Yeah, I think my parents played a big role in my life. They're from Ethiopia, so I grew up here in America, and I'm first generation. They didn't go to college or anything, but it was like they stressed like education was very important and really pushed us to me, and my sister, to really just focus on what we're learning. So I think they played a big factor. But I think also I was the older sibling of the household, so there's a lot of things I did, like, translated for
Yeah,
my
this
parents.
daughter.
Yeah, oldest daughter, cooked, cleaned, like all of that, like responsibilities. So I think, as best as my parents did try, there was still a lot of responsibility on me growing up at a young age. And that I think that really shaped the type of person I am now because I'm very plan oriented, I'm very type A, I'm very like, get things done. And it really is a big part why I push myself and motivate myself.
Okay, so you're studying political science and human rights. So I'm very curious. What interest pushed you to take that path?
Yeah, so I think again, like a big part of my background and my country played a role in what like I wanted to be and what I wanted to pursue. I'm from Ethiopia, so I think when I visited Ethiopia when I was younger and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that I saw and there's a lot of things that I like just didn't like about the place in terms of like human rights and that ordeals. And then I also grew up in a suburban area in Georgia and I went to a predominantly black high school. And so I really saw a lot of like inequalities and justices. And I felt the happiest the most when I talked about history or like was in my social studies classes and I did the best in those. And I just thought that that was so fascinating. But I think more and more you learn about history, the more and more you realize it's really not fair. And there's so many things that needs to be worked on. So I think just the more and more experiences I accumulated, nonprofits I joined in high school, just things that I saw, I was like, yeah, I need to go into law and I need to go into human rights law and really focus on helping my people and every one of those that are like have been discriminated against growing up and their current issues. And I think now more than ever, it is definitely something that needs to be focused on and that needs to be like spotlighted because I think we're regressing and it's very sad to see. But then it's like also like there's work cut out for you, when you get to the top.
So, was there any particular moment or experience that made you realize that this was something you were really interested in and this is something you wanted to pursue seriously?
Yeah, I think something that I specifically I can remember talking about my college essays when I went to Ethiopia, I was 12 years old, and my like in like richer neighborhoods, you have like servants, and it's not necessarily like a servant, like they're still treated well and such, but one of my dad's house's servants was a 12-year-old girl. Like she was my age. And I was like kind of like shocked, kind of like and I remember I was helping her in the kitchen one night and we were like sitting down and we started talking about, like why she's here. And she was telling me, yeah, my dad has like a lot of debts to pay, but your family is very nice to me. But I dropped out of school in middle school. And to me, just this was just beyond because I was like straight A's always. I was always doing school. It was ingrained in me that school was the way that I would like make it through. And at that time, I think I was like also like I read Malala's book and I loved that book and I was so obsessed with her movement and all of that. So like this, it was just like a culture shock. And she would tell me so much. She told me like a lot of things that happened in rural areas and this is what happened. And she was like the oldest daughter, so she had to go. And so it was just a lot hearing that. And I think that still kind of resonates with me. And honestly, my trip to Ethiopia, my second time, was like still at 12 years old. There's just so many things that I saw that like just it was so unnatural from coming from the US and having been in the US my whole entire life. I just didn't really understand what it meant for people to live like that until you see it. Like I think pictures, books, movies, they don't do it justice until you actually up close personal see people on the street, hear people's personal accounts of things that happened to them. So I think that was a big like catalyst. So because I initially wanted to be a doctor because my parents told me to be a doctor. So, but I think that's when I realized I wanted to be a lawyer.
And it's so shocking to see a person, same as you, same as her age, working,
Exactly.
and they don't even have the basic right to
Yeah.
education. So,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen like I think Angelina Jolie's
yeah.
speech accepting like a Grammy or something for she's like it's so crazy. Someone with the same talents, same beauty as me. She just ended up in the geographically challenged location. And I think that's just insane to think that geography could change your whole entire trajectory of life and you could be the same talent even as more. And that's just insane to me to even like imagine, but that's reality.
Yeah. When you first arrived at Columbia University, like, what was the most surprising thing about the university?
Yeah, surprising thing about the university.
Was there
I
any?
think I think I came to Columbia at a very interesting time. So 2 years ago was when a lot of things started happening politically. And I actually remember my admitted students day was the very first day of the encampment. So that was a very crazy time to experience. I was inside a building the whole entire time. They didn't want us to see the encampment. Um, and I remember just feeling kind of upset about it because I was just like I
Mhm.
came here not for this, like because like I didn't expect my school to be that kind of place. I chose it for because it's very liberal, very focused on politics. We have our core curriculum. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like we have to take a set like about 60 credits for Columbia College, and a lot of them are based in learning political philosophy and things like that. It's very arts and humanities based. So
Mhm.
that was literally one of the biggest reasons I chose the school. But I think also I was very shocked at how um, heterogeneous like the racial makeup was. I came from suburban Georgia, but it was a black area and black and Hispanic area. So I grew up a lot around black and Hispanic people. And so it was just really a culture shock seeing different races, different people, and learning how to live with them and just learning how to greet others, how other people's like backgrounds affects the way that they have conversation with you. So I think it was just a learning curve when that happened. So it pretty much I mean, I knew to expect it. I just didn't know like how it would feel in the moment, if that makes sense.
Okay, so if someone walks through your life, what will your daily life look like? What will be a day in your life look like in Colombia?
It would be a day in my life. Um, okay, I can walk through one of my busiest days. Mondays and Wednesdays are normally my busiest days. Monday, I wake up pretty early at like about if I want to work out in the mornings, I only work out in the morning. So if I'm working out, I'll wake up at 6, work out, and then at 7 start getting ready because I have an hour trek to downtown because I have an internship downtown.
Mhm.
So I go to my internship. I only spend a couple of hours there till 12, and then from there I ha take the hour back to come back up to school, and I have 3 classes back to back. So I have French first, and then I have um, CC, Contemporary Civilizations, which is our reading course, part of the core. And then I have Music Humanities, which is also another core curriculum class. Afterwards, by then I get out of class, it's 5:30 p.m. I normally grab dinner with friends at one of our dining halls. And then afterwards, on Mondays, I have a club meeting to go to. So I'll go to my club meeting at like 8 p.m.
Which
Afterward,
club are you associated with?
okay, I'm in a couple of clubs. I am co-president of the Ethiopian Eritrean Student Association. I am I am a staff writer for the Columbia Political Review. I'm also community outreach chair for the Black Students Organization. I'm a member of the Black Pre-Law Society, and I am also a member of POLIS, which is one of our political science pre-professional societies here.
That's such
So
a long list.
kind of involved. Kind of involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, you can continue like your day.
Oh, I mean, honestly, after that, it's usually like I probably chat with my roommate, but then lock in at a library or
Mm.
back in my dorm. This year I'm living like on the farthest dorm from campus. It's a 15-minute walk away, so I normally ha don't like stay late at school because I don't feel like walking back really late. So I normally will do work in my room until the next day.
And what about the one of your happiest day in your life? Like, how does that look like? This was one of the busiest days. So now let's move on to your
Like
happiest
a
day.
chill day.
Yeah, the children.
Um, two
Like,
days
what would you
ago.
like to do? Like, you don't have anything to do. Like, you're just free.
Okay,
You just ask, like, what do you
free.
want to do? Yeah.
Okay, this weekend actually, my cousin came from Northeastern to visit me, so we had a very New York day. We spent the morning at the Chelsea Thrift flea market, so we got some rings. It was really nice actually, because this weekend was like the weather was really good, so all of New York City was out. It was like 68 degrees, and people were so happy. So on the train, she got to see people like serenade with the guitars. So I just thought that was so fun. I love when people are like, I don't know, community. And
Yeah.
then I think after the Chelsea thrift, we ended up getting food down in Times Square. One of my favorite like ice cream shops is Anita's Gelato, and it's so
I've
good.
heard that.
It's so good. Like I
I
can't
also
even
want to
ex
try it.
you need to like I'm telling you, like the hype is worth it. Like if you get there, the line will probably be so long, but wait in the line. Like it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Yeah. And you can always wait for ice creams and gelatos.
Exactly.
It's
Like it's
it's
just
always
amazing.
worth it, yeah.
And then afterwards, I think, what did we do? I think we walked in Central Park because it was really nice. I love Central Park. It's really beautiful. Um, yeah, and I think honestly the thing about I love about New York is literally just walking and down the street because there's
Mm.
just so many people and they're so different and they're just so interesting. So after that, there's my like there's a jazz I love jazz. It's my like one of my favorite genres. So there's a
Mhm.
jazz club in Greenwich Village, which is downtown, and they have a lot of different singers and there's jazz players and whatnot. And so I remember we closed out the night there and it was really fun. And yeah, that's like a
Seems like
perfect
you
day for
had
me.
a very New Yorky day.
Yes.
Um, many people coming back to university, many people do imagine Ivy League life as extremely competitive. Like,
Yeah.
what's the reality like people don't usually see?
Yeah. I think I felt more competition and pressure in high school than I feel here. And I think
Oh,
it's just because you like s so many people like it's not it's I'm trying to put the words, but it's really not like you're competing against people. First of all, for grades, like your teachers will not show you your grades until the end of the semester. Like you're basically playing like I don't know, guess your grade until the end of the semester. Like there's no like you can't check throughout the semester what grade you're sitting at. It's like you get a grade
Mhm.
on the paper, but they can calculate it completely different. Also, so many people have it's really hard to find somebody who has the same exact interests as you. Like we're allowed to major in two majors and then in addition to a minor. So there's so many people that have different combinations. So how are you going to compete with somebody who
Yeah.
has like a different combination and different interests than you? And then I
True.
also would say like people are very chill here. Um and I feel like I don't know about the other Ivies. I've definitely talked to people from Yale and Harvard. And I've said similar things, but honestly like a lot of these people have been burnt out. Like me
Mm.
personally, like I've been burnt out. And so freshman year was very hard for me, but it's all about picking up your footing. And a lot of us, I think the goal was to get into college for a lot of people, and you're already into college. So the rest that how you handle it is like at your own pace and how it turns out. Like you'd be surprised how many people say, "Oh, I'm gonna take a gap year after college," or "I'm gonna do this." Like they're very taking their own pace. Like they're very chill about it. Um, and not to say that people are not like insanely cracked and they're smart. It's really hard for you to feel like you're under pressure because how little people talk about their grades and how little people talk about the academic side versus like it's a very social element. It's a very social place here, I would say. Like it's not uncommon to talk to somebody randomly about their major, what they're doing, and da da da, da, and it just like feels like you're not getting pressured, you know? So it's very chill. I would say it's like the reality is definitely not like competitive. You're competing every
That's
day.
something very new. Like all we hear is that all these Ivy League colleges are very
Mhm.
hectic. Like there's a lot of competition, peer pressure, and everything. So that's like completely different
Yeah.
than what you said. Yeah.
I will say maybe it also depends on your major.
Mm.
We have the School of Engineering and Applied Science, C's. So our undergraduate schools are split up into two. So there's Columbia College and C's. But I think I will say that a lot of the STEM majors may feel a little bit more competition. Plus, economics is a big department here, so I would
Yeah.
say like that's a little bit more. But I guess I'm poli sci and human rights. So human rights department, our department is so chill. Like it's so amazing. I love it so much. Like it's literally what you'd expect a human rights department to be. So it's really just I guess maybe where the environments you are in, but also like the people you surround yourself with. I don't surround myself with people that like will negatively impact me or have some kind of bad influence on my life. It's not worth it. Like I did it in high school and kept people around me that didn't need to be in my life, but here it's not important. It's not worth it. It's just like yeah, you gotta
It's
just
better to have positive, good people around you.
exactly.
Rather than having 10 fake people, you can just have two good close friends. I guess that's
Exactly.
it. Yeah. If I may ask, like, what's a major and minor?
Oh, yeah. So I guess like a major, you would just take more classes, and according, but it's like whatever specialization it is. So my majors are poli sci and human rights,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'm gonna be taking the full course loads for those. But a minor is like if you want to add on to like something slight, any of them, I think most of the majors are minors. So it would just be taking a condensed version of a
Mm-hmm.
major. It would just be something you add to your diploma, but all your majors and minors are going to be listed on your diploma, so it's just all about like specialization and what you want to do.
Like, what are your minors? Like, do you have any?
I'm not minoring in anything just
Um,
because I'm doing two double majors. Most people do like like it's gonna be a lot if you do two double majors and a minor. That's a lot of courses you have to take.
yeah.
And there's like only so much you can count. My plus our core curriculum is 60 credits already. So you say yeah, and you have 124 to graduate, so that's already half of your
Mm.
course load. So it's just hard to combine that many, but it's you people do different combinations. Like people can do a major and then two minors. People could just do a major. People could do like I don't know, two majors and a minor if they're feeling very like I don't know, like ambitious. So it's
Yeah.
really just up to like you and what you want to determine to
Mm.
do.
Like, you have your choice to select a majors and minors.
Yes, it's your
Mm.
choice entirely.
Um, like, since you told us that you have been involved with so many organizations on the campus, what role do communities like these play in shaping leadership and representation?
Yeah, I think it's so important to join clubs. In my freshman year, at Columbia, I wasn't in any clubs except for one, and that one didn't feel like it was a community for me. I was doing like ROTC at the time because I almost joined the military, which is a very random piece of lore I have. But honestly, I think one of the worst things in my life was being without clubs. Like in high school, I was in a lot of clubs. In middle school, I was in clubs. So it was just like I didn't know life without clubs and how much like role it played in community and a community aspect. But now that I've joined clubs, like I have a good balance, I would say, of professional clubs and a good balance of cultural clubs where I can be around like people who understand me, who grew up in similar environments to me. Especially like my Ethiopian Eritrean Student Association like club, like there's a different level of understanding, like, because it's your community, and it's just very fulfilling and rewarding to be able to put on events that help support those in your community, especially because we have international students, so people that are just straight from Ethiopia, and their first time in the USA is at Columbia University. So, all about creating like that kind of environment for them, and that's very fulfilling, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing such an amazing job. Okay, so obviously you told us that you were the co-president of the Ethiopian and Eritrea Club. So you also help cultural community spaces. What does creating this sense of belonging mean to you?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. It means like it's necessary. Like I said, like I felt pretty lost without community. Like freshman year was genuinely really hard for me to do because I felt like I didn't have community or people who didn't understand me. And it was just when I joined those clubs and got to be around people and then even playing a role in creating these events was much more fulfilling for me. Like a lot of us here, I think the only way there's a level of competition here, I would say, is through our clubs more than anything. Not even like classes, like clubs more than anything. It's like because think about all of these people like came from like where they led their own clubs. They created their own clubs. But it's like not everybody can have their own club or not everybody can be a leader of a club. There's like 14,000 students. Like it's not gonna be possible. So I think some people just feel more happier when they're able to lead, and I'm just that kind of person. And I feel happier when I'm able to create spaces of belonging and be part of that kind of community.
But it's something very new to hear, like people that are competitive about clubs rather than their
Yeah.
academics. So yeah, that's
Some of them,
something new.
like, some of these clubs are intense. Like, there's applications to get in, and
Oh,
you have to, like, write
really?
essays. Yeah, and I remember freshman year, I applied to, like, two, and I didn't get in, and I was so sad. I was like, this is so upsetting, da da da. Da.
It's
I just
like
thought,
college application.
yeah, I was like, I already applied to get into the school. We all applied and we got in. So can
Yeah,
you just like let us
take me in.
in?
Also, like for all the students who wants to step into leadership roles like you did, but many of the students feel intimidated about it. Like, what
Yeah.
advice would you give to them as a person who've been associated with so many organizations and clubs and
Yeah.
you've been there doing everything?
I think really it's really about just like doing it and being very like ambitious at the same time, but also being yourself. Like, I think honestly, the times that things haven't worked out for me was when I tried to be someone I'm not. And the times that things work out for me, like, really good is when I am who I am and like I show my personality and I'm able to. But then that also means like be able to character develop and be able to reflect on yourselves and self-correct. But for the most part, being yourself is something that's really important, I would say. Um, and then I would just say like just start. Like honestly, sometimes things can just feel overwhelming and like a daunting task. And the only way to actually get through it is if you actually start it. Like even if it's bad, even if it's like not good or whatever, just having idea to the paper is just a start and it'll motivate you to go further. And like once I feel like you've established a line of communication that you're gonna do something, then you're gonna like definitely want to keep pursuing it.
And also, I guess taking the first step is the most difficult one. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's just like if you have taken those first a few steps, then it's really easy comparatively.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Like before moving on to more deeper questions, we just like would like to have a small get to know you round, just to get to know you well and your choices and everything. So, I just have a quick fire round, okay? Rapid
Okay.
fire. Yeah. Um, s- yeah. What would you prefer? Coffee, tea, or matcha during our study sessions, or chill scenes, or yeah, whenever you're out.
I'm Ethiopian, so the right answer is coffee and only coffee.
So you're not a matcha girly?
No, I don't like matcha.
Same.
Sorry.
Why?
Oh,
I
okay, good.
love
I feel like it's
matcha.
such a hated opinion nowadays. It's like cancel worthy if you don't
Yeah,
like matcha. I'm convinced that half the people are like genuinely lying. Like I'm convinced they're
No, it's
lying.
actually good
me
though. It's
too.
actually really good.
I don't agree.
Exactly, me either.
Um, what's the one word that you would describe for like one word to describe Columbia students?
Interesting.
That's so vague. Like you can try.
That's so
Like
vague.
one. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how else to say it, but interesting. Like some of them, like you just would never know that they're like a prince's son, or they like acted on a set because of how chill they are, or like there's some that like you just don't expect to come from like a town of like three people. Like it's just like it's just I would say diverse or
Yeah,
interesting.
got it. A class that changed the way you think.
I took this class called Justice. That seems very like vague, but it really altered a lot of the things that I think about. And we it was a political theory class, so it really helped put into perspective the modern things that are happening due to like political philosophy. So that was, I think it really changed some gears in my head.
Who's a leader that you admire?
Who's a leader I admire? Um,
If you have any.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's a really hard question to answer because every time I like a leader, it comes out and they're like uh, did something terrible on the side or whatever. So just for
Malala.
controversy, I would say
Like
Malala.
Malala.
That was the only person I could think about right now. She has her TikTok page now, so I've been watching that recently, and it's interesting.
Even I have read her books and I
Hmm.
know her story. So it's really inspiring to, see people so
Yeah,
young and she started doing everything that she's doing at such
exactly.
a young age. So it's very inspiring for me as a woman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Next question. A country you would love to work in.
to work in Netherlands, the Netherlands.
Oh, why? Is there any reason for that?
They have, I think that the International Criminal Court or is in there, and they have a lot of, I think some of the human rights regimes are in there as well. So
Hmm.
that's probably dream place that I want to work.
Well, a misconception about Ivy League students.
A misconception that I think people think a lot that they don't like party like regular college students, but I promise you they probably party more. Like the insane duality of an Ivy League student to stay out till 5 a.m. and then wake up 6 a.m. to do a lab report is just insane.
That's nice to hear because actually such a misconception that if you're in an Ivy League, it's just so stressful that you don't even get time to socialize or party.
No, no, no. There's actually, I think maybe because we're in New York, I think it changes a lot of things.
New York is a party place itself.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's like one of the dreamiest country you can be in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now Jasmine will do this or
Okay.
that round.
This or that. Okay, so debate competition or policy research? Which one will you go for?
Um, Debate competition.
Why is there a reason why? Or
I did mock trial and Skills USA in high school, and I've done a lot of debates more, so I think I would be more comfortable with debate.
okay. So library or cafe study session?
Cafe. I like the background of like people moving and stuff. But like library if
I'll
it's
cafe because
absolutely
of the coffee.
serious, like if it's necessary. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so reading political theory or listening to podcasts.
Wait, what was the first one?
Listening to
What was the first one again?
reading
Oh,
political theories, or
no,
listening to
podcast. I'd have
podcasts.
to do a podcast.
So, what's your favorite podcast
I think I've
right
read
now?
so much political theory. I used to listen to Morning Cup of Murder. That sounds really crazy, but it was like literally 20 minutes of less of like those like crime stories, and it was just like really interesting.
Also, yeah,
Okay,
like
this sounds
you love
crazy, I
murder
swear, but
mysteries and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Another fun fact about me is that I got my criminal justice associate's degree in high school. So I thought I wanted to
Oh,
be a defense attorney. I thought that that was my life and I was going to be a detective and a defense attorney, blah, blah, blah. And
You're
that
such an
stuff still
interesting
fascinates
person.
that's so
me.
cool.
Thank you. I know. So
Okay.
I think there's like this whole tension of like law and criminal for me. Like I don't know which one
Mhm.
I want to pursue.
Okay. So, government work or international organizations?
Um, I think national, wait, say that again?
Government work or
Sorry, I think it
international
was.
relation?
Mhm. Oh,
Government
international
work or
relations. Like
international
that's what I want to do in the
organizations?
future.
Okay, that's cool.
International organizations.
So early morning productivity or late night productivity?
I mostly recently have gotten to early morning productivity. I wake up early.
Oh, so you're an early bird.
I am. I am also a late night bird. I'm just a bird that's awake all the time.
Um, we've known that you've worked with there's a country district attorney's office
hmm
helping organize mock trials programs. What did that experience teach you about the justice system?
I think well, working there, I learned a lot about the justice system in terms of like it's not always just punishment, punishment. There's so much compassion that goes into helping people get to where they need to be and meeting people where they are. Like it's not often a judge will really assign jail time in especially misdemeanor cases and stuff like that. But it's also very satisfying when justice is served. As far as the mock trial, it was mostly like youth based and very inspiring. Like the program was for high school students, so it was very fun to see people to teach people that were just in a position that I was like maybe like less than a year ago. So it was just very, it's just been, that's been a breath of fresh air. And I think it just learned, it just taught me that the justice system is very compassionate.
Yeah. Yes. Being at such a place, also, you get to know a lot of things which happen practically. Like there's a lot of difference between the things you read
Yeah.
theoretically and what happens practically. Yeah. So, like, did you see any difference between that, like what you have learned theoretically and practically?
Um, I would say like they went hand in hand. Mostly like the things that I learned, I think I took away like lifelong skills and far as like being very what do you call it, looking at the situation of facts. I think not one and not every situation is the same, and there is not everything can have the same formula to applying it, so it really does require a great attention to detail. And so like practicality can change based on the situation, like a lot goes into it. Like people really talk about, there's a reason people talk about like the community work they do, the things that they do, because sometimes things were really genuinely an accident or there's just not malice intent behind it. But then there's just moments that like a person is crazy and they need to be locked up. And so it's just kind of really thinking about like
That's so
that.
easy. Person's crazy, so they need to be locked
So
up.
like some people they have no remorse. Like I think the very first trial I saw, it actually was a public trial and it went pretty viral because he was a cop and it was, yeah, it was insane. And so just watching the way he reacted in court and things of that nature was just like, yeah. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Like it was just very interesting trying to tread carefully with my words.
Okay. So, did this experience strengthen your interest in pursuing law right now or in the future from that time when you were
Yeah,
younger?
I
Okay.
yeah, I think like for me, like being in the courtroom, um, like I didn't go out often, but when I did, like I could sit through whole trials and I would be still so interested, you know? And I think that's what it solidifies it for you. When the things that people would find the most boring is interesting to you, then that's when I feel like you know your passion is what it is.
And I guess since you've associated with so many, like you really like watching crime thrillers and
Hmm.
reading novels like that, you've been so much into it so that you're, really associated with crimes, law, justice,
Yeah.
like you've done everything around it. Everything's just so
Yeah.
connected.
It is. And I think each different experience and it's just so intertwined and so different, but each one you take away skills that you're going to use forever, no matter what. So that's why I don't have a problem trying as many things as I like want to try, you know?
Yeah. Also like I've seen that you've written about utopian political issues in Columbian Political Review. How do you balance pride in your heritage without holding political systems accountable?
Yeah. I think for me, the culture and the politics are so much, they're two different things, especially in like countries like Ethiopia and like I think American culture and politics being intertwined is maybe the only exception for the majority of the world. A lot of the world has had traditions that are embedded in their culture, and then politics has always been a changing factor with the coming years. So for me, it's when I think of Ethiopian politics and Ethiopian culture, it's just really simple for me to separate the two and really embrace my heritage versus holding governments accountable when they're not doing the correct thing and when they need to stand up for the people that they're in charge of because it's just that's just what they need to do and that's the right thing.
Yeah, and I guess it's so important to take that step because you if you just like see everything blindfolded and if you don't act on the things which are
Yeah,
wrong around you, so I guess like it's not right. Yeah. Um,
exactly.
Also, like you've mentioned, your ambitions of pursuing both JD and possibly a PhD in future.
Hmm.
What kind of impact do you ultimately want to make through your work?
Yeah, I think through my work I really genuinely want to see a change in governments, and I want like the one thing human rights will teach you is like you're fighting for human dignity, and that's just such an important word to think about when you're doing the work. And I think every human should feel dignified, and they should feel like they have a right to live and a right to be here and a right to operate under whatever circumstances they want to if it's still acting in good for the public good, you know? So just making sure at least like changing some element of the world or contributing it because it's going to be a long, long process, but contributing to people feeling dignified and people feeling like they have rights and they're free. So just kind of that's the kind of lasting impact I want to leave.
If you were given a chance to change three things about government, what would it be?
Um,
Three things maybe you don't like or something that you would want to change in future.
I would I would honestly I would honestly say that's like a really hard question to answer like very like short and briefly. I think that's like something that's really dense. But I would like I think overall like you can like a lot of laws are written the way that they're supposed to be written. So like the US for example, like all men are created equal and so and so and so and so. But even with that happening, there was still injustices happening. So as much as law is written effectively, the application in which like law officials carry it out and the way it is applied and social fabric is like laid out is that's what I would really want to change. I would really want to change the application of law and I would really want to make sure people follow what's written in without interpretation, because that's the thing about law. It's so tricky. Like lawyers can get somebody off based on like a slight little word, you know? Words are so important. So I think just maybe changing everything and everyone to act in good faith and actual like genuine interpretation that it was meant to like resemble.
Okay, so what's one
That's
global
like my
human
like
rights
one big
issue?
thing.
Okay. So, what's one global human
hmm
rights issue you think young leaders should be paying more attention to in this day and age?
Yeah. Um, I think one thing I was very passionate about is menstrual health and equality to it. Um, that was another thing when I was talking to the girl in my dad's house. She was telling me about like products. My mom even telling me growing up it's not easily accessible. Like it's just like a lot goes into it, especially in third world countries and stuff like that. So I would just say it's also not a widely talked about issue, unfortunately. So I would encourage young people to really stand up for their female counterparts or those that go through um menstrual health problems and giving them the right equality, because if not properly taught or given the proper sanitary products, it could lead to much dire product health issues, and that's just unfortunate if it results to that. So I would just say it's an issue that needs to be talked about more.
And also menstruation, it's such a basic issue and people have made it like a
Yeah, in
big
general.
taboo. Yeah,
Exactly.
and people have made it like a big taboo, and there are a lot of things around it. Like in India
Yeah.
especially, like people don't talk about it. I'm from India, so people don't talk
Yeah.
about it very casually, and I feel like it's a very normal topic. Like everyone
hmm
has their menstrual cycle every month, so it's a very basic thing. So I don't think so there's any need to shy away from it. I guess even
Exactly.
girls and boys both should be aware about it and
Yeah,
scientifically what products you need to use and everything. But sanitation is really important, as you mentioned.
exactly.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people using very different like products other than the sanitary products. Like people use tissues, napkins,
Yeah,
cloths, etc. rather than sanitary pads, tampons, or menstrual cups.
exactly.
Yeah, so I guess
Just
living in
increasing access.
yeah, and living in such great areas, like we have access to everything, but people who are in the third world cities and countries, they don't have the access to it. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
such a basic right to have it.
Yeah, I think one thing I did a research paper on is Nepalese menstrual health huts. So they had like menstrual huts that like young women in rural areas would kind of be like condemned to. I think part of like religious beliefs and stuff like that. And I just it was very unsanitary, like infections and things of that nature. Maybe you would know more about it, but that was something I did like a research paper on, and it was just something that kind of eye-opened things because there's some rural areas in Ethiopia that also do practice menstrual huts. So just kind of thinking about that also is insane.
What was like the conclusion of your research paper, like after getting to know about people and how they, um, like how they, what they do during their menstrual cycle and everything. So like, what is your reaction to it? Because it must be so new to you. Like, oh, like this is also happening. Like there are people going
Yeah.
through so much, like just during the menstruation, and it's such a basic thing. Like it's a normal thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think like every paper, most of the things you can do is just really do a call to action, like, and just say like, hey, this needs to change and this is how I think we can change it and stuff like that. So I think that was my initial like final conclusion to, because it's also vague because sometimes people, there's no solutions available. So, and you could say like, yeah, let's get this many tampons out to this country, let's do this and this, lower the taxes and stuff, but the amount of work the system is set up so it takes so much work to get to those points. And so a lot of people shy away from changing that. So it's just really hard to kind of just say that there's one specific formula to change something.
Also, like one more question, like, if we would ask you, like, where would like you wanna be in like 10 years from now,
hmm
5 years from now, yeah, like where do you see yourself, like, after a PhD and after academically doing everything, all degrees and everything, like, where do you see
Yeah.
yourself? Where do you wanna be?
Hopefully I I don't know. I think maybe I see myself with like graduated law school. I'm officially a lawyer, probably do a PhD
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then probably just building experience in the field, whether that's through human rights nonprofit organizations, whether that's through the United Nations, the International Criminal Courts. So just things like that in the human rights world. I also like, I think I've been thinking about maybe like starting my own nonprofit. So just kind of things like that, just really just in the works, very preliminary. I want to probably be writing for like different papers and stuff like that. And I think lastly, like I want a dog. Like that's very important. I'm gonna have a
That's
dog.
sweet. That's
I want a
sweet.
golden doodle really bad. I want a golden doodle so bad.
Yeah. I guess everyone should own a dog. Like even my parents, they are just not ready to have a dog yet.
I know my parents are
Yeah.
not either.
Yeah, I'm like, please just get me a dog for my birthday gift. That's
Exactly.
all I want.
Exactly.
What other pet would you want to have, like other than a dog, if you were given a chance to?
Well, I don't know because I'm allergic to cats, like severely allergic. So I can't have cats. But I don't know. I guess maybe I bunnies. Bunnies are really cute. They're
Yeah.
very cute. Maybe a bunny.
Mm. Two. If you were given a chance to give your 16-year-old self advice, like what would you tell her?
Um, I would just tell her that like there is genuinely like a means to an end. Like there's genuinely like you're gonna accomplish the things you want to accomplish. Just take life a little bit easier. I think I was a little too serious at 16. And I'm glad that I was serious at 16, but I also do wish like I had a little bit more fun, and stuff like that. So just telling her to maybe balance like her social and work life. Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like students really lack balancing their work life and the academic life,
Yeah.
even like when they're in high school or even college, like they just tend to work themselves out so
Yeah.
much behind academics and jobs and internships that they don't even get time to socialize or network. And I feel like it's such a privilege to be around such good people because you're in Columbia University. It's not uh like an easy deal to get in Colombia. So
Yeah.
yes, you have been surrounded around with such great people, great minds, people, specialize in different things, interested in different things. So I guess it's pure learning too. Like you get to learn a lot from your acquaintances, your friends, and the people around you, I think in general. So I think
Yeah.
one thing you mentioned about Colombia was that there's no academy. Like people don't compete with each other academically and they're just very chill. So I guess that's the best thing I like about Columbia University in general.
Yeah. Hopefully other schools are like that as well. At least I don't feel like I've been competing with anybody academically. I think all the pressure that I have is self-inflicted. It's really like head comparison on my own part. I don't really think anyone has ever made me feel like I'm competing with them.
Um, it's been so great to talk to you and to, get different insights about very different things you've done. I just have a one last final question from you.
Okay.
Like just one message you would want to leave for young women around the world who aspire to lead, but they're just still figuring out where to begin with.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is don't make excuses. I think a lot of people really we just reach a point in society where people make excuses so much, and there's like I think you dedicate yourself to something and you keep doing it. But that doesn't mean like also like not care about your mental health. I think that's very important. Definitely just know yourself, know your limits, but don't make excuses. Like just because something like isn't working out the way it is doesn't mean it's like the end. Like you have other ways and other things that you can do to get to your goal.
Afomia, you're such a great inspiration for a lot of
Thank
young
you.
women in general. Like, I was going through our LinkedIn, your Instagram, and everything, so I got to know a lot about you. So, I just noticed that you've been, trying out very different things, and I found that a very similar thing between you and me. Even I like trying out very different things here and there. I'll try any random thing. Like I just
Yeah,
hate
do
missing
it.
out opportunities.
You
Yeah,
only live once. I don't like you only live
that's
once.
my
Try
life
the
mantra.
food. Exactly. YOLO. That's my mine too.
Yeah, so it was great. It was my pleasure talking to you and having you here because there are a lot of students having misconceptions about Colombia, how tough
Yeah,
their life is. But yeah, you made it look like pretty chill. Like not too chill, but yeah, like it's manageable.
it is
So
manageable. I promise. It always is.
yeah, so it was just great talking to you and like it was great having you. Thank you so much for
Thank
being at the
you.
podcast. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me and thank you. Keep doing the work you guys are doing. It's really inspiring on Instagram. I hope everything works out.
Yeah.
And if y'all ever need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Thank
Yeah,
y'all.
and we are looking forward to seeing you as a lawyer or maybe having your own nonprofit.
We'll see.